For today's art and story time, I'm going to continue to work on this dog commission from a client up in Minnesota. Thank you again to that client. If you are interested in getting an art commission from me, you can contact me here. When I was in my later years of college getting my associate's degree, I worked as an art instructor and event coordinator at a nonprofit in my hometown. A lot of these were paint and sip classes, which are pretty popular now, where you sit down for about a couple hours, paint a picture with the instructor, and drink a beverage of your choice. I'm going to do a separate episode on this nonprofit because there's definitely a lot I can say. One particular night after I finished the class, I had a gentleman come up to me just to ask me about my personal interests and what things I like. His questions were innocent enough, but I was definitely catching a vibe from him, if you know what I mean. Age came up and he told me he was 31. At this time, I was only 20 years old. It was really creeping me out that he was possibly displaying interest in me when there was over a decade age difference and I wasn't even 21 yet. As a point of reference, 2 years earlier when I was 18, I had a youth minister that was the same age. To add a very gross cherry on top of the situation, the other teacher that was with me that was older than him teased me about him liking me, which again, I pointed at our age difference and thought it was really gross. I did a lot of community events for this nonprofit at the time, things like face painting in my downtown area, and sure enough, anything associated with this nonprofit, he was there at the events. He would always bring up the same subject, one that I wasn't interested in or even agreed with, and talk about it nonstop. So I would just sit there silently hoping he would get a clue. He did not. Inevitably, he went and added me on Facebook. Now, at the time, being so young, I had a really hard time setting boundaries, even with people I didn't like. I desperately wanted things to work out with this nonprofit with me teaching, so I thought, well, maybe this is a form of advertising myself. And you probably guessed it, he slid into my DMs to try to ask me out. I obviously was not interested and told him I was very busy, which was true. I was a full-time college student at this time, and I was also doing stuff with this nonprofit. After I told him as such, his sister, quote unquote, then slid into my DMs and told me that I should go out with him. Wow, he sounds like a creep, my one friend said as we were hanging out. I had just told them both the story of everything that had happened up to this point. You know, you don't have to be friends with everyone, my other friend explained. I know you try to be friendly with everyone, but you don't have to. You're not obligated to do that. And also, his sister that contacted you was probably him using her account. Yeah, that is really strange, and I will remove him. I promptly did that after that conversation. Sometimes you just need a friend to tell you what's up sometimes. It was the 4th of July that year, and even though I was outside in the hot, muggy weather, painting kids' faces, I felt a shiver go down my spine. Somebody was definitely watching me. That guy was leaning on a tree across the way from me, staring daggers at me. He never came up to talk to me, and I never saw him again after that.